Hello everybody! Welcome to my humble abode. We are back for some more HobbyPlex After-Hours fun. It's been a while. Kind of took the summer off. Decided to spend some time doing other stuff. If you have some time, subscribe to our fishing channel. There's only 3 videos on it. We wanted to get more this year, but didn't quite work out. Emerson has 2 videos in his phone that he needs to edit, and he hasn't done it yet. But go to Talking Fish Angling and subscribe to our other channel. See what I've been doing all summer. Well, there's only 1 video but from this summer, but still. So tonight I'm going to be tearing apart this little RC18, kind of getting it cleaned up, changing the shocks out on it. And then today, somebody came in and they actually gave us this. This is a Team Associated TC3, and you know, I've been collecting a lot of cars, as you can tell behind me, the last couple years, and this is the original Team Associated touring car from the year 2000. So it's got to be at least 23, 24 years. Not 23. It's got to be at least 20 years old or so, and it is missing some parts. So it's missing the motor cam and the clamp, so you can do your gear mesh correctly. But whatever. You know what? I've had actually several of these throughout the years, and Team Associated actually re-released the TC4 not that long ago, and actually used it to race on our carpet track for a while. But this is an OG TC3. And it's going to go right up next to my XXS that I have. So I've added to my collection a little bit. And one of my on-road cars that I have is this XXS. And it's a pretty good collectible specimen, other than the fact that the belts are trashed. So that kind of bums me out. I got to find a good belt for this car, but at least I got them. This one's actually a graphite edition. It's got all the cutouts and everything. So this is going to go right up next to that, and I thought that was pretty cool. And if I can find the clamp and stuff, you know, you could probably run this car right now and it'd be actually pretty fast with it. So I'm gonna put that out of the way here. But yeah, this thing's pretty sick. I was actually tagging and I saw Cam working with somebody, and he had this car, and I kind of went like, "What's that?" from across the room, and Cam's like, "You want it?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, I want it." So I wasn't expecting, but you never know when you're working a hobby shop. There's stuff coming in all the time. That's kind of how I ended up with a lot of what I got behind me. So anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna set that one off to the side for now, just because I wasn't even really expecting to work on it. Earlier in the day, after I got home, I made some slicks for my kid's truck for this coming up summer series. It's our final round of the Team Associated Reedy summer series at the Plex for off-road. And the track's been holding up to slicks. So silver slicks for the front. They don't make them in truck yet, so you got to make them yourself. And I left a little bit of kind of a ghosted tread on them. The track will take care of the rest. But I wanted to make sure that he was prepared for next Saturday. And then also, immediately following that is the Indoor National Series race at Hoosier RC in Indiana. Right outside of Louisville, Kentucky, and there's a whole bunch of us locally from the Hobbyplex that'll be going for that. So I've got a bunch of tires that I've been scrubbing away, getting ready for that race. So hopefully we'll have these on his truck when we get there, and then I made some more fronts, another set of fronts out of ellipses that I had lying around. So now I just mounted these up too. So I've got, I think 3 sets of silver slicks ready for the INS race, all ready to go. And then Emerson's got one full set of slicks on his car, and then I got to make him another one. He's running stock, so it's not as hard on tires, so it shouldn't be that bad. And then we're gonna have to make one more set for his truck, I think, just to be safe. And then I've got 2 sets for my 4-wheel drive. So, yeah, I think we're gonna be set for tires. All right, let's dig in on this thing. So, all right. So the story behind this is a good buddy of mine, Chad Brockman. He owns Mile High Off-Road Raceway in Aurora, Colorado, and it's a shop that's been around almost as long as I've been alive. And I'll send people his way to find good used vehicles. So they have a Facebook account. It's called More Used Case Deals. So MHOR Used Case Deals. And anytime that anybody's looking for a car, they can't find one locally, I'll tell them to go on there and see if they can find something. Well, every once in a while he gets in some stuff that that I want to find, and so yeah, we were able to pick up 2 of these. So my son's got one, and my son's got one that he's working on. It's going to be brushless, and it came with some aftermarket shocks, and he stole the metal drive shafts out of the pack that I had, and we figured out that the hexes for the Losi Mini T 2.0 Mini B actually fit on the axle and the pin, so you can actually put modern day like carpet tires on this car. So I'm pretty jacked for that, because I was trying to figure out how we were gonna go with rubber tires. It came with foam, which is cool, but now that we know that we can do that, that's even better. So that's going to be really good stuff. I got some shocks with it. These are 3 racing shocks, and let's see what else. This one has a metal steering rack, which I thought was pretty cool. And eventually I'm going to take everything off of this, and I'll get a Hobby Wing. I get paid Friday, so I'll get a Hobby Wing brushless system, put my own receiver in it, and we're going to use just a regular 2-cell LiPo. So so it's going to be pretty cool. It's pretty rad. The electronics are like crazy old, so they're 27 megahertz, which we're not even going to worry about. I'm not even going to try to sell it or something like that, because I doubt anybody would be looking for that.
I just tossed the receiver away.
Somebody, whoever had this, tied the antenna in a little knot and put it underneath of there. That's interesting. Yeah, I think I'm gosh, I hate throwing stuff away. I don't want to throw stuff away, but
I just tossed one.
It is 27 megahertz, so as much as I hate to do that. Who do we got on? We got 8 people watching tonight, and I know John Haas was talking about it. Thomas Gimenez says, I like the shaft car over the belt drive, less friction. Yeah, wasn't that the argument back in the day? Everything's pretty much belt now, but the old argument was TC3, or I guess at the time it would have been a street weapon. Then it kind of went to the triple XS, and then it was TC4 versus triple XS. You know, before X-Ray kind of got involved with their T2 or T1 even. Yeah, I don't know. These are old Intellect cells. So what's crazy is you could get packs just like this from like SMC. That's how old this car is. This is crazy. It's like a time capsule car. But you could also get these in loose cells and build them yourself. And I used to do that. And then that's that original mini plug that I'm trying to think who still uses this plug. There's a mini car out there now. It's not the drum, but I think it's one of the, yeah, it might be one of the mini crawlers that you can still find this. We still got adapters for this too, but I'm not going to use this battery, obviously. Probably wouldn't even take a charge, to be honest with you. It's pretty old. So Nick's on here. Nick Nuthouse, fellow Patreon member. Don't forget about our Patreon channel. There's a little bit of stuff on there. Plan on doing more. It's just a matter of time. Just finding time. All right, let's see if I can get... Do you have my skinny pliers, dude?
Yeah.
John says, hold on, I'm going to show this comment. Thomas wants the battery. If you're local, I'll take it to the Plex. So the only hard part about these RC18s is I've been looking up online trying to find parts for them, and there's not a whole lot left out there. What stinks is that not that long ago, the HobbyPlex did like a inventory purge where we almost gave stuff away, and I know that there was RC18 parts in a lot of those packages that we had, so kind of butthurt about that. If I would have thought about it, probably should have bought those myself and just hung on to that stuff. So the mini mount, or the mount on the RC18 is not a little. It's very proprietary. It has these two screws on the bottom and one screw on the top, and you can slide it.
It took me like 30 minutes.
You can slide it back and forth to get the gear mesh right. And the gear mesh is going to be very important because these spur gears are very hard to find. So we got to make sure that we don't kill a spur gear on accident. That's one thing I told him. I'm like, whatever you do, let's not tear up a spur gear on these cars now that we got them. Because we do have some parts, we just don't have a spur gear.
What if we put...
That's like one of the most important things in an older car is your spur gear. When HPI was going a little bonkers, there's still some Sprint 2 people that unfortunately have parts for that car on back order at the store because they didn't have any at the time. Like at all. Feel really bad. Oh, you're in Lincoln? Ah, that's easy. We'll figure it out. What'd you say?
What if we put these turnbuckles on the mini boot so they don't pop off?
You can try. Alright, so old school speed controller and motor. And it's crazy. These actually still work really good. So I'm going to take these. Put those off to the side. I think I'm gonna keep the servo.
Really?
Because I remember HS55s you could use on these, but HS55s are not the strongest servo on the planet. And also the drag link was always really sloppy on these. There was a small company based out of Lincoln called Impulse RC, and they used to make Delrin drag links for these things, and also Delrin 12mm hex adapters for these, so you could bolt on like a touring car tire. The first time that we ever raced Mini at the Plex, way back in like 06, 07, that was the ticket, was to get like a factory team RC18, a little reedy 19-turn brush motor that was this size, so like a 380, and then get those hex adapters. You could use the touring car foam to make these things like crazy good. So that was so long ago. This car is really clean too. Look at that.
I have like
Hardly a scratch on it.
I have like a core memory of us running. I think it was the RC18s on the carpet or something.
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny. Emerson, I got to look at that. Putting that on the wrong way. Nick, I gotta look at Granite. It's in a box, and we haven't looked at it in a while. So, I would say it's in fairly new condition. I think I need to replace the motor on it. That's something I can look at. I'll try to look at it tomorrow before I go to work and get back to you, dude. But I think that's all that was wrong with it. I don't know. I've had it for a while. Nick's got a RC18. It's almost like we need to be hoarders now that we got these two because of parts availability.
Were the ones on Amazon, were those for the RC18?
Yep.
Were they limited stock?
Yes, they were. Or yes,
Should
they
probably buy like all of them.
Yes, they are. Well, that's what I was planning on doing. And shouldn't say that out loud while we're live streaming. Okay, let's see. What else do we got to do to this thing? So the screw's coming out a little bit. Probably going to re-thread lock that. Should thread lock it, actually. See? I know. Actually, let's do it this way. So it's been a while, so how's everybody doing? What am I doing? Matt, you're funny. Actually found a whole bunch of metal spur gears for the RC18, but there's something about, I'd be worried about putting metal spur gear on because then you break pinion gears. It's like the pinion gears will go before the spur gear will go. And then it's also very loud. So I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I don't think it's a good idea. GPM has one.
I think I saw this.
I think Energy had some. Energy had some nylon ones, but they're out of stock. So I just don't think. I don't think metal would be the way to go. So
spectrums are wrong.
Did it work?
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks surf fishing? Where at? That sounds like fun. Dude, Emerson killed it this year. Like, last year I was catching all the big fish at the end of the season, and Emerson's caught quite a few large channel cats and 2 really big carp. I kind of finally caught I caught a giant turtle yesterday. Or was it Monday? I think it was Monday.
PB turtle.
Yeah, a huge sand turtle, or whatever they call that thing. The one with the weird nose. It was big.
I've got a motor. If you want to try putting a motor in it.
Huh? No, I got it. I'm gonna get one on Monday or on Friday. Trying to decide if I'm going to put the dynamite system in it that has the speed controller and motor in one, or if I'm going to just go with the Hobby Wing. The Hobby Wing system would be way cheaper, so I'm leaning towards that route, but South Padre Island, nice. Dude, I think it's drought. I think I think it's mostly the drought and the water level, because our creek spot has been really slow too, and I think that that's all water level, because now I can actually see, I can see at our creek spot why we were catching fish where we were, because there's actual rocks in the water that I didn't know were there, but now that the water is low enough and clear enough, I'm actually seeing all this structure that I had no idea was there. So now I kind of got this mental picture in my mind when the water level does come back up of where I still need to drop in our bait and stuff. So I think that's what I think it is. We went to Lincoln to fish, and we didn't have great luck that day. But we were also like surrounded by homeless camps. We had the one spot that I wanted to go to had a homeless camp on this side and a homeless camp on that side, and to get down to the river you kind of had to go basically almost through the homeless camp. So I felt really weird, and I almost disrespectful, you know. So it's like that's like their home. So I don't know. That's where Emerson caught his giant grass carp, though. That was pretty cool.
It stinks.
It did stink down there. The fish stunk too.
Carp did.
Matt Lang says he wants to go fishing with an RC. Dude, I thought about that. You know what? Today I was talking with somebody at the store, and I said that what I think would be a really cool is the SC6. The axial SC6 would be a fantastic vehicle to fish with, because if you caught a big one, there's no way a fish is moving that SC6. It's a huge, heavy RC car, you know. So
a giant flathead got it.
I don't think a giant flathead would be able to move that thing in the water.
Really?
No, the SC6 is like 50 pounds.
Huh. Well, if the fish is 70.
I don't know, maybe, or a boat. You could do it with an RC boat. I've actually seen people do that.
Dude, perfect.
Yeah, I know. I thought it'd be kind of a cool thing to do on our fishing channel, but it's kind of already been done, you know.
We have to make it.
And I don't want to like be that guy.
We have to make it different.
I already got a whole bunch of flack for the house jump video being not really that original.
Really?
Yeah.
From who?
Oh, the comments.
Oh.
It's all. They did this first and they did that, you know, whatever. I don't even care. I just wanted to do it. I don't really care who did it first.
It's just ginormous fat people.
Why is this not going in?
Talking all that crap.
What did I do?
What?
I feel like I messed this up.
What?
It's not quite lining up to get screwed back in. I think I remember this being difficult, actually. There it goes. I think it's difficult because it pinches the servo so it doesn't move. Okay, that's fixed. Get my brush out, and then we're going to change the shocks out. Do you think Losi will go to 13mm shocks on 1/10 scale? Daniel Bender asking the question. I think, I don't know. I don't know. I think, I bet you probably won't see that on whatever car they come out with next. I think they're due for a new two-wheel drive. So, but when I was on the Losi team, I was told it takes like a couple years to develop a new car, and so when something drastic like that comes out, if you're gonna follow that trend and you're already past a certain point in development, I don't think we'll probably see that on any new Losi car until the next cycle, maybe. Because I don't think anybody even thought about an extra millimeter on Team Associate or Team Losi shocks. Techno's actually had theirs be 13mm for a while, so yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think they've been playing with the shafts more than anything. You've got guys that like the 3mm shaft and guys that like the 3.5mm shaft. Some guys like the domed cap, some guys don't. I think you're gonna, on the Losi side of things, you'll probably continue to see that be what they're focused on. Good question, though. Very good question. Let's see. All right, let's get these out. These look cool. I don't want to lose this. I definitely don't want to lose that.
Put the blue springs on the...
Do you have any zip ties?
I just used one.
Ah. There, my air conditioner just came off so I can stop yelling.
I hope Associate gets back into the game.
Do I think Team Associate will get back into the mini game? God, I hope so. I think a mini version of a B6 point whatever 4 we're on or whatever would be sick.
That'd be crazy.
I think that'd be the coolest thing ever.
Especially if they think about it in like a racing like a racing form.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The RC oh geez, sorry. The Mini B actually works and handles so good that well, the INS race, our INS race, I mean, we were all 13 people that were there could do every single thing on the track that was made for 10 scales with our little 16 scale Mini B.
I was doing some stock times. Like
so,
I had like a 27 something.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope they do. I really do. I think it would be a big.
Our mini night would go so long.
Yeah, I think it would be a big shock to the scene if Associated came out with a mini somehow to compete with the Losi car, and then nights like our mini night, or the Syndicate. Remember, we want to race.
We're gonna have a mini class.
We want to race Mod Mini B on Saturdays, so it would be a really good thing. But again, a lot of this stuff, you know, they can't just make them out of thin air. There's a cycle to things, so I hope so. What else did we see? I saw one. Steve RC, I joined late, but did you talk about the 74.2? I haven't yet. We should be getting them. If we're not going to get them by Friday, because I thought they were supposed to ship on Monday, but I also haven't received any sort of shipping label or anything like a shipping alert from Team Associated. So if we don't get them tomorrow or Friday, I will definitely get them next week then. But I thought we were supposed to get them by Friday. But we've got a couple versions of the carpet car, or sorry, not versions. We've got both versions. We got a bunch of the carpet cars and a couple of the dirt cars coming in stock. I think I'm going to get the carpet car. I think I'm going to race 13.5 with the Associated this year on the carpet. I think it's going to be fun. So, I need that new battery strap. Does it work with the 0.1 chassis? You know, it should. Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't. If you run independent on carpet, would you be able to run expert as well? So, Connor, yes. So, for the Syndicate, I'm not as concerned with the turnout. In fact, I would love more. So, for that, I'd be okay allowing guys to run expert and independent. It's just the Techno Series was just running way too late, so I had to figure out a way to try to cut down the entry a little bit. I actually think most of those guys are probably going to get something like an E-Truggy or something anyways, so probably won't mess with the entry count, so I might have to put a cap on it. But for the Syndicate or any of our club racing, I actually don't care. If you don't have any sponsors and you have a 21.5 motor and you want to run expert, whatever. I'm cool with that. It doesn't bother me at all. Cody Mosier, speaking of the Syndicate, there seem to be a few guys that want to race 40 plus on Saturdays. I mean, quite honestly, I'm a 40 plus guy, and I would love to, but I don't think we need it. It's another class. It's another main. It'd have to be another award. You guys are all paying regular entry fees per person, $20 per person. You can run as many classes as you want. The Syndicate's always been kind of like a club race with a cool name, is what I was always going for. So I don't think so. I personally enjoy. I love running 40 plus at the summer series, but I also like our club days where I'm thrown in. I throw myself into the regular mod class and just to see where I stack up. So I don't think we need that for that. We'll have it at the crash in, but I don't think we need it at the during the Syndicate. So
we're gonna have mini at the crash in.
That's my own. That's where I'm at on that. I think a lot of times you can. I'm still on the side of things. I'm trying to explain my reasoning. I'm still on the side of things where you can almost have too many classes, and so then you're diluting the field, and so sometimes if you only get a main with like 3 people in it, it kind of stops being fun, you know? That's just what I think. We'll see. I mean, if we got like 10 old people that want to race a 40 plus, and it would be mod, okay? If they want to race 40 plus, I guess we could do it, but if it's just like a few guys. I don't really think we need it on a weekly club race basis. It'd be a weird precedent then, because then like our club racing too on dirt, you know. I don't know. And I'm 43, so I would love to race 40 plus all the time, but not really. I actually enjoy trying to keep up with Ethan, you know, because it kind of like makes you better. Oh, you were saying about the 74.1. Gosh, I'm sorry, Peter. I don't know. I'll have to look at it. I actually don't know. I think Daniel just said he saw it somewhere. But I don't know. I'll find out. I'll try to look into it. I'll try to remember to look into it. Well, we're up to 19 viewers for the first time here in a while. That's pretty cool. I got these slick 3 racing shocks with our RC18B that we got. And I'm going to tell you guys a secret. When the J Concepts race happened and those guys took a picture of my car with the rat's nest in it for electronics, I had a whole bunch of people saying, "Where do you get those springs from? Where do you get those springs from?" Well, I actually had, if I can get this off of here, I actually had a set of associated shocks lying around, and the springs happen to fit, and they happen to be blue. So these are actually these are what's on my car. It's pretty awesome, and they work pretty good.
Show them the shocks.
And then Emerson was able to get.
I'm gonna move the front so
these same 3 racing shocks, at least on the back on his Mini B, and they actually work.
Mainly because I hate the stock ones with a passion, because you have to unscrew from the bottom.
Really, that's true. Yeah, but the front ones I think are a little. I think they're a little short. So it'd almost be better to have 2. It'd almost be better to have 2 of the.
That's too long.
2 of the rears all the way around. Unless you can somehow get a longer bottom piece. You can probably unscrew it a little bit. It'll help with the droop. But right now, if you can see right there, that's not enough droop for this thing. It's gotta come down a little bit. So we'll have to figure that out. It's too bad we can't put a new hole in the shock tower somewhere.
Probably can.
There's not enough room though, and plus it would be bent down too much. It wouldn't work right. Anyways, that's pretty cool. So yeah, yeah, that's where my blue springs came from on my car, and now I got a whole nother set because I'm gonna take these off. That's awesome.
Where'd that go?
Up to 20. That's awesome. Daniel Bender's been thinking about running mod 2-wheel drive on carpet. Well, I mean, it might be about that time to give it a go, dude. I think you're more than capable. And it'll be a learning experience just like when you first started racing 21.5, just like when you first started racing expert stock. So Daniel Bender's your summer series at the Plex independent buggy champ. So he's got the goods. He's got the skills. These are already oil filled.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
I'm sure it's like 15 in there because
it's probably like 20 years old. Hey, will you reach up there and grab? Oh, you know what? Never mind. What?
Are you recording?
Yeah, of course I'm recording.
He needs to go get the rest of that stuff and bring it downstairs.
Oh, Emerson, go do what your mom says. Go get the rest of that stuff and bring it downstairs.
I told you earlier to do that.
Just don't bump the camera.
Yes,
So these little guys have little bladders in them too. So I'm going to see if I can get this to go on there without having a whole bunch of oil everywhere. And the verdict is, oh yeah, look at that. So tiny. Wonder if I can use the same blue springs.
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, look. They fit.
They're even shorter than the stock ones, though. Look at, aren't they? Yeah, they are. Look at how much shorter they are. I don't even know. That can't be right unless maybe I can unscrew the shock shaft. But look at this one to this one. Look at. He's not looking.
What?
See?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's really weird. I don't want to scratch the shock shaft. Can I have my shock shaft pliers, please? So, chat's pretty busy. We're figuring out how to fix the B74 battery strap.
It's like the worst thing to drop on the ground. Yes.
So it looks like I can back off the bottom cup without. That's still very, very stiff on there, so I don't see that breaking. But it's got to at least somewhat match the stock length. Lawn experiments. Lawn experiments. You know what I've been watching lately are these on YouTube are these vids that have like guys go to lawn guys that go to like homes and lots that haven't been taken care of in a long time, and they just do it for free, and they time lapse it. I don't know why I've been so mesmerized by those, but they end up looking really nice. I'll probably be, if we get it this week, I'll probably be building my, I'll probably build my B74 next week on here. As long as the Summer Series track is done and everything.
Do the skinny pliers?
Can we run a mini for the Enduro? Yeah, Nick, you could run. Basically, you can run anything up to 10 scale. I don't see a problem with running a mini for the Enduro.
That poor diff.
I just don't want any 8 scales or anything like that. It's 10 scale race. The Enduro is going to be fun. I actually have a video. I'm actually going to be doing a video on my Enduro car. I'll give you guys a little preview. So we took a RB10 and I put the threaded Team Associated shocks on it. we put some DR10 upgrades on it. So I got the rear pill set up for it, and then we it's kind of hard to see, but there's some aluminum in there. Got the Exotech front bulkhead, the Exotech steering rack for the DR10. It also works on the RB10 because they're basically the same car, other than the chassis. And I did put B6.3 rear arms in this car, and it shortened the wheelbase slightly, so I had to set back the arms a little bit, but I wasn't sure how it was going to work. But in practice, so far, it's worked really well. The only thing that I got to figure out is a better battery strap, because we're running shorty packs, and one Velcro strap's not going to cut it. So I'm actually thinking about drilling a hole in the bottom, countersinking it, and then putting the B6.4 standoffs in there to hold that battery in. So all you'd have to do is move it, right? Little carbon fiber tabs. Just gonna move it, take the battery out, put the battery back in, put the tabs back down. Shouldn't take very long. And yeah, so I'm gonna be doing a video on this, on just the build in general. I'm gonna clean it up, make it look real nice, and that'll be after October 9th. There's actually quite a bit of stuff I'm gonna finally start doing for YouTube. I don't know if you guys have noticed, took kind of a mental break from YouTube. We've still done a lot of videos this summer, but I haven't really done as many like unboxings on some of the new stuff, and obviously we haven't done this HobbyPlex After Hours in a while, and you know, the What's New Wednesday is not every Wednesday. Part of that's because we just haven't got anything that new in all the time, but that's going to change here in a little bit, because we're going to do a video on the INS race coming up, and the Enduro, and the big track build for the Techno Series. Probably do some videos for the Techno Series when it comes out. And then we're going to the INS race in Phoenix. So I've probably traveled more this year, or will be traveling more this year for racing, than I've traveled in the last couple of years. So I'm making up for some lost time, and gonna get some of that content up there so you guys can see what it's all about. So new shock should, yep, snaps right on. And so we're going to do like a mod four-wheel drive class on Tuesday nights. I told Emerson we can't race that we can't race with the regular four-wheel drives. I just don't think it'd be nice. It seems like the four-wheel drive class on Tuesday nights is a lot of fun. It's mostly Latrax 1/18 scale, and they're all stock motors. So we're gonna have to come up with our own like mod four-wheel class. See what we can do. Okay, let's take this off. Lance is on here, says going to be a good turnout this weekend. This weekend would be the TCS race for the Tamiya series, and then next weekend the summer series. So just in general, we're kind of like always busy at the store, it seems like. So, but I hear what you're saying. Look how much shorter the stock. So this is the stock shock, right? And this is the 3 Racing RC18 shock. Look at the difference between the two. I hope you can see that. It's actually quite a bit shorter. That's why I backed off on the that shock bottom, but I actually now I think that the blue spring for the front is too long, so I'm going to take this off and put the black spring on there, see if it sits better. Once I get these shocks done, I'm pretty much done with the RC18 until I get electronics, so we'll move on to something else. I was going to fix my comp crawler tonight, and the part finally came in. So one of these came out of my comp crawler's aluminum knuckle, and when that happened I was like, oh no, because I wasn't sure if they'd still make parts for it. Well, the Nightcrawler is essentially the same axle, and those came in off of back order about a month ago, and I picked them up, so I can actually fix my Losi truck and run it again if I wanted to. It's kind of a shelf queen too, so Anthony might have to convert his Dramina monster truck to a buggy. Eric Jarman made a Dramina four-wheel drive, like a fast brushless, and I think Logan might have been the first one to do that as well, so it's kind of cool what these guys are coming up with.
We need to spread the news that we're going to have a mod class.
Yeah, we're going to have a mod four-wheel drive class. It's going to be fun.
Spread the news.
We're going to start working on jumps here too. New jumps, getting the old jumps fixed, getting new jumps out there. Got some carpet we got to cut up to keep the landings good. Peter Rideau was rained out on Tuesday. He's going to help put down pipe on his local track up there in Canada.
You're not putting the blue springs on there?
On the front, no, because they're too long. See? So it like forced the front end to sit really high, and didn't look right. So no, I'm not. They're pretty smooth though. Get some weight in the car and then it'll really sit right. Gonna have to zip tie this too. Of course I'm out of zip ties because somebody used all my zip ties.
Sure.
I'm just saying. I had 4 packs of zip ties.
No, you did not.
And they're all gone. Every single one of them is gone.
But mine.
No, I did. I bought them from Harbor Freight. They were $1 a piece for like 50 in a pack, and they're all gone. Every single one of them. Super lame. You know, these actually don't feel that bad, the stock ones. You know what's crazy? The front and rear are the same length on the RC18. On mine. Were they the same length on yours? The stock shocks? That's weird. Yeah, the rears are the same. Maybe that's why there was 3 packs of them. Maybe. Lance says, whoops. Guess I was a week early. That's okay. I think I knew what you meant. The Team Associated Summer Series wrapping up next Saturday. Happens to be a bye week for the Huskers, which is good. Because none of us will have to worry about losing another game that week. And we can just focus on the Summer Series. I actually just did a count on all the door prizes. For sure, Everybody that's eligible is getting one really good thing, and then there should be enough for most everybody to get a little extra. And I still got some more stuff I'm waiting on, so it's going to be another solid year for door prizes and stuff. I know that's not really the reason why we come and race, but it is kind of a perk. So
Did someone make CVDs for these?
MIP did back in the day. I doubt you'll be able to find them though. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, I'll be doing a video on that for sure. The door prizes, the awards, some practice and stuff. Kind of do that every year. One of the reasons I do that is so next year's sponsors I can kind of show, hey, you know, here's what we did. Here's what people send, and what our races look like every year. So you guys will see that when it comes out, when we get done with that next week. This year's been kind of crazy. We've had I think there's only 2 classes that are still up for grabs, but technically yes, but realistically probably not. So I know Plex Spec, stock truck, independent buggy, 40 plus mod, 13.5 wheeler, and mini truggy. We all know who's going to be the champ. And then technically mod 4-wheel drive and mod 2-wheel drive and expert stock are technically still up for grabs. Like basically somebody would have to not show up for it to be different. So it's one of those years. Sometimes it comes down to the last one, and sometimes it doesn't. The years that I won 5 in a row in mod, I know 2016 came down to the last one. So does Alex Vanderbeek. He remembers that. And then a couple of the other seasons, I think that as well. And I know that Plex Spec is usually the one that's either a blowout or it comes down to like the last minute on who's going to win the championship. This year it's not going to happen that way, so it's kind of cool. At the same time, you kind of want those to, you know, you kind of want there to be some not drama, but like anticipation, you know. To be eligible for door prizes, you had to make at least 4 of the 5. That is correct. Yep, 4 out of 5. And that's for everything. So, like, you know, if you're dead last in the points, but you made 4 out of 5, you could still walk away with a kit at the end of the year if you get your name drawn. I really like doing it that way. We started doing that a long, long time ago. I think, Anthony, the first time that you were here racing, we were doing it that way. And, I don't know. That always made more sense to me, because I always got kind of like irritated when you do something like that, and the first place person, who's especially in like the mod classes, who's probably already sponsored, gets a kit. I never thought that was fair. like, you know, why do we do that?
I might order some clinic blue turnbuckles for this.
Peter Renault found some more Jabas in a big frozen solo. I don't know. Did you ever see my my Slave 1 that I got a couple weeks ago? I was pretty happy about that. Finally got, and it was reasonably priced. Like, I've seen a lot of those kind of outrageous, but it still had the Han Solo and carbonite piece that went inside of that thing in there. I didn't give it to my sister, but I took it to my sister's to display, She's got a pretty awesome. We'll have to do a live there sometime. She's got a pretty awesome collection of her own. She's more of a Star Trek fan, but she's got all my Bandai Star Wars models that I don't have in my little display here. She's got at the studio. So I took it down there. My cat's been knocking over stuff lately, so I didn't want to have it get messed up. And I still have to build the AMT Slave 1 over there. It's like still in the box, still wrapped. I haven't even opened it yet. And I've got an AT-AT I gotta build, and I actually wasn't. I'm not gonna build this because I already have one. So I got the AMT Red 5 X-Wing, and I already have one of these, but it was the Bandai version, and I built the Bandai version. But the only reason why I bought this was because of the box art. And if you look here, I don't. This actually doesn't look like Mark Hamill at all, because I don't think it can. Right? Isn't that right? Like if you put Mark Hamill on the box, you have to pay him, right? So I think it kind of looks like him, but not really. So, yeah. So I don't think I'm ever going to open this one.
Mini B turnbuckle sit these small sets.
Oh, nice. And then I've got this one I'm pretty happy about. I know we moved on to a different topic altogether, but I got my Palps here. I think I've shown this on here before, but he's got a glow-in-the-dark hand. So if you go like that, his hand glows in the dark. And 1996, this is a Applause video. I actually got this when we were doing the Purge. This was in a box, and I had to buy it, so, and I got it cheap. Anywho, back to RC cars. Do you think Losi or Associated will come out with a mini four-wheel drive?
I hope Losi does.
Yes, I think at some point, I think we will see a mini four-wheel drive. I hope so, because that'd be, like, if they came out with a mini 22X-4.
That'd be awesome.
That was just a shrunk-down version of a 22X-4. That'd be pretty crazy. That'd be really cool.
We need that.
Yeah, we need that in our lives. More stuff to spend money on. Like if it was actually durable, you know? Because again, that's sort of the hardest part about Mini in general is just even the Mini B. The Mini B's tough, but the ball cups just pop off constantly, you know? If there was a way to fix that, I'd be one happy camper. They sell captured links, and I think they're made of metal. I think they're metal captured links. I remember Logan got some, but they made the car like bind up really bad.
From GPM.
So
GPM.
It's not the solution, put it that way. It's just not the solution. Jumpin' Pix is on here, saying, "What's up, RC friends?" Almost done with my RC18 for now, just getting all the old electronics out and putting new shocks on it.
Did yours not come with a wing?
And then we're going to set it aside for the electronics here in a little bit. Didn't have anything extra for mini stuff. Well, it works. I'm gonna put this wing back on too while I'm at it. I think I remember breaking the wing mounts a lot too.
Uh-oh.
Or at least bending them, I think. I don't know, I might be wrong, but for some reason I thought I did break them every once in a while. Hopefully not. My RC room is dialed very cool. Thank you. I was going to give you guys a little tour of some of the new cars that I picked up since we last talked. I think the last one of these after hours things that we did was way back in like I think March.
It was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
Been slacking.
I've had a pretty crazy summer. Getting lucky with some classics. And not so classics. Alright. This one. The wing is on. I always liked the original RC10 body as well because it kind of matched my own personal color scheme. A little bit of black, blue, just need some purple in there. This thing would be sick. It's also painted. It's an actual painted body. You don't really see that anymore with any of the ready-to-run stuff.
Dude, I want to get that clear body for this, like professionally painted in that paint scheme.
You're gonna have to give it to Kenny, and you're gonna pay it with your own money.
Oh yeah, I know.
You're paying with your own damn money. Here, put this in our parts.
I might do that this paycheck.
Oh, geez. It's down there. Okay. This pinion gear I don't want to lose. So I'm going to put it in the safest spot possible, which is right there. Because I know it's not going to go anywhere. And there you go. You know, now that I look at it again with the body on it,
Show the people.
proportionally, it doesn't quite look right. It almost looks like it should go the other way based on today's cars that we've had, you know? But I could probably...
Those yellow tires have got to go.
Yeah, the yellow tires are part of it too. They clash big time with that. We actually have a clear body. I'm pretty sure this came out of a factory team kit.
I want that in my paint scheme.
So
That's sick.
I told Emerson he could have the clear body. So
No,
we're
I said I called it.
gonna get his gold and yellow paint scheme on there.
And a
gonna-
wing.
And a wing. It's gonna
got a
look
wing.
it's gonna look really good. So for now, I'm gonna set this up here with my other minis. Look at that. And let's show you guys some of the stuff that we got. Let's take a break here. What did we get? Oh God. Okay. All right. So, story about me. So if you don't know, there's 20 people watching. Most of you guys probably know. But if you don't know, if you're just tuning in, first time at the Hobbyplex show, anything like that, I'm manager, race director of the Hobbytown Hobbyplex in Omaha, Nebraska, since 2004. Before that, I managed a couple different RC racetracks part-time while I had a real job. And then before that, of course, just always been into RC pretty much forever, since the 80s. And one of the cars that I've always wanted, okay, but they stopped making it in like 1995 or 96, was the Tamiya Nissan King Cab, okay? And when I finally got old enough where I was making my own money and could buy my own stuff, of course I'm into racing and all that, so most of that fundage went that way. But every once in a while, I would look on eBay or something and see how much King Cabs are going for, and it was always way too much money, I thought. So So I kind of always had that in the back of my mind. Hey, I would really like to have a Nissan King Cab for my RC collection, but I never really put much effort into it. And then a buddy of mine from Sioux City posted a picture on his Facebook of one, and I texted him and said, "Hey man, what's it going to take to get that off you?" And he's like, it's kind of sentimental. So wasn't sweating it. Then one day out of the blue, he's like, hey, I could trade for something. So I ended up getting a King Cab, and I got the original, the Nissan like Roger Mears King Cab paint scheme. The vehicle itself was pretty rough, but it also didn't have the original wheels and tires in good shape. So then, lo and behold, like 3 weeks later, Corey Kilbundy, who's a racer, a Tuesday night racer, Saturday racer, friend with Anthony, he comes in and he says, hey, I got these cars that were my dad's. What do you think about them? What do you think I could get for him? And one of them was a King Cab. And I was like, dude. So I offered him what I offered him, and he agreed. And the next thing you know, I've got my Nissan King Cab, and I'm never gonna run it. This is basically like a model for me. So with the body that Dewey painted from Sioux City, it's got the original wheels and tires. It actually has the it's clean. It's really clean. I don't think this truck's ever actually been ran, so there's not a scratch on this thing. And it was missing a front piece, so I took a piece from the King Cab that I got from Dewey, and I put it on this, and now I have it. So like I said, I will never run this car. This is more of just like a personal mission for me to have this on hand. Those guys that know me, I've been driving a Nissan, basically a Nissan truck for the last 10 years now. So I don't know, there was always something about this paint scheme, Roger Mears. Anytime that I'd see, I'd catch the truck racing. After Roger Mears 2, I believe it was his name was Art something, but he would drive the red, white, and blue King Cab, and I'd always root for that truck. So so there you go. So that kind of completes my Tamiya collection. There's not much out there in the Tamiya side of things that I wanted other than this and the original Falcon. So this was my first RC car ever. I believe in 1988. My mom bought this for me, and I was able to pick up one of these, pretty reasonably priced a while back, a long time ago. And now I got this one, and so yeah. Recently, this is a double X, Team Losi double X, and after some research, I'm pretty sure that this is a double X Sport. But this one has a really funny story to it. So, I peruse Facebook Marketplace every once in a while, and every once in a while you find somebody who's selling some old stuff. They don't really know what they have. The ones that do know what they have, a lot of the time they put just like this astronomical price on it that just doesn't make any sense to buy. And this one is basically not a scratch on it. Actually traded a kid in Columbus, Nebraska for a ready-to-run car for this. So I had to drive to Columbus, which is like an hour away, and we sat in a church parking lot and waited for about a half hour, and this kid just walked up with this in a bag. He said, "You got your ready-to-run." I showed him that it worked. He's like, "You sure you want to do this?" Because he didn't know what he had, and I swapped it out for him. and I need to find a body for it. But I actually have 4 of these now, double X's. 2 of them are in terrible shape. This one is just how I got it. And like I said, it's real clean. I'm pretty sure it's a sport, not the actual like team kit. And then I actually just got done taking all the good stuff from the 4 that I got, and I turned this. This is basically a graphite car, double X CR. So it's got the CR rear end on it, the CR front shock tower, graphite arms, graphite towers, the standard chassis. You know, when we were racing these, we figured out really quick that the graphite chassis caused a lot of interference issues and stuff. That's one reason why Novak came out with that Mercury receiver back in the day. But even then, I remember having glitching errors all the time. So I got the right length chassis on it, and yeah, this rear motor plate, I think I busted like 10 of these things at the 99 Mod Nats because the jumps are so big, and I didn't know how to do jumps back then, and I would land like this and just bend the crap out of these things all the time. So this is my original body paint scheme. It used to be silver, and it's changed over the years. And then what's really cool about this is 1997 runner-up Brian Dunbar came to our track for the INS race in July, and I told him, I said, dude, you know, I kind of tried to copy your paint scheme with my colors, and so my buddy Matt did the best he could. So he had red, purple, silver with the checkered flag, and if you look at Brian Dunbar's old body from the 90s, it was kind of, his colors was like a white and orange and then a yellow with the checkered flag kind of in the middle. So I had actually had Brian sign this one for me. So thanks to Brian Dunbar for that. So that was a pretty cool catch this summer, getting that done.
Oh no.
I picked up a XXX SCT back in March. It was sitting on somebody's wall, and I'm like, are you ever going to drive that again? And they're like, no, because it's covered in spider webs. And I offered them a cheap price for it and got that. And then, what else did I get? Oh, 2 more things here real quick. So we got an original Rc10 Gt in all of its glory, and this is the original one. So it's got the white spur gear, the black cut chassis, the old Teflon coated associated shocks, a lot of the white nylon pieces on here, the 3-piece wheels, front and back, the original tires. This thing is pretty gross, but you know, I actually don't mind it. I was thinking about cleaning it up, but I mean, this thing's another one that's never going to get ran. It's just kind of something that I had the opportunity to get, and so I did. And yeah, it's pretty cool. I ran a factory team RC10 GT in the early 2000s, went to Nats a couple times with it. Several factory team cars. I think the last one I ever ran was the 2006 RC Pro Series Finals in Rockford, Illinois. And I actually made the main, and I finished the main, and there's a video out there, RC Racing something something, and you can see me in the video a few times. I wonder if that's on YouTube now. I don't know. So this one's pretty awesome. It was a pretty good score. That was one from Chad as well at Moore. And then finally, I was pretty stoked about this one too. We've got a XXX NT. And this one, I had actually known the owner of this, the previous owner of this one. And he put it on for sale at one point, and I thought about buying it then. And I just didn't feel like spending the money on it. Because there was another vehicle I knew I was never going to run, actually. Even though this one does run, there's actually video of it running. But the person who did buy it ended up selling it for less a couple months down the road, and I ended up agreeing to buy it. So the only bummer is that the body was pink, and so this is another one that I got to find a body for. I'd like to find an original XXX NT body for it and get it painted up in my color scheme and just kind of make it look nice. But it's kind of cool having this is a Drake edition, so it's not even the original one because it actually has the one-piece wheels, which was an incredible advancement. And it's kind of too bad that we didn't use this on anything else, because when we were racing gas truck there at the end and we were going through tires, it was a pretty big advantage to be able to come in, have a set of tires ready to go, swap them out, put new ones on, and go finish your race. So, but I've got one of the Associated gas truck, and I've got one of the Losi XXX NT gas truck. If I could find one in reasonable shape, I think it'd be cool to have a GTX. That's the first one from Losi, and then the is it the first one? They went in GTX. Yeah, GTX, and then XXX NT, I think. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. Was there one between the GTX and the XXX? Because if it is, I'm blanking on it right now. Oh well. So yeah, so that's pretty rad. Dang it.
Nice.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Nice.
That was smart. At least it was nothing super important that fell, right? Just your Jeep axial. So, Eric Jarman's on here. Hello, Eric. Vintage RC. I know it's Tamia. I let it slip. Anthony Santa used to rock the XXX SCT back in the day. You know what's one that I would like to find in good shape, and I know they're around, is the SB, the SCB, the XXX buggy. What sucks is I had one of those, and I can't remember what I did with it. I might have eBayed it, actually. There's a few out there that I've let go that I feel kind of dumb for letting go and just keep it, you know. Let's fix my Losi truck here. So I've been wanting to take this out on the rocks this year, and I haven't because the piece on the front had come off. See, there's my Nissan again. Yep, right there. So we're going to take this wheel off. Anthony Santi still got his buggy. I always thought that the that it would have been better off for the SC buggy to get popular instead of the truck. Just because of how much better they handled, you know, they could handle the wind a little bit better. I always thought that that would be fun. I remember, so we had a short course showdown. I think it was the second one we ever ran, and we all got short course buggies. And there was like almost 30 entries, and it was the highest entry count he'd ever gotten for short course buggy at the showdown races. And I think Dylan Volker kicked our butts, if I'm not mistaken. And I think I was in second. I was in second, and then I came up around David Fast, and we got together, and I ended up fourth. I went from second to fourth on the last half of the last lap, I think is what happened. Do you have my scissors over there?
Mm-hmm.
Can I have my scissors back, please? Thanks. I think I remember that now. Short course buggies were fun, though. I think we used to have, so on Tuesday nights, we've had a couple different Tuesday race nights, and one of them was a short course night. Tuesday night was short course night, so we'd have Pro 2, Pro 4, short course buggy, and then like a Plex spec class. And I think we ran everything heads up, just to keep it fun and loose. You know, you didn't want to get too serious about it. And that needs thread lock. Do you have thread lock over there? Or do I still have it?
I don't have it.
What did I do with it? But then that kind of dropped off, and we had to do something different because Tuesdays was just, we were getting like 10 entries, you know, and you got to make a change when something like that happens. I need my 1.5.
It's in the drill.
I had it here.
It's in the drill.
Oh, okay. So what's interesting about this is the old Losi comp crawler, and it uses these pins. It's a lot like I don't know if the I don't know if the current Losi 8 scale, because I haven't had one in a little while, does it the same way. But there's these pins, these steering king pins that go in on both sides, and then there's a set screw that goes in and holds it in place. And it looked like that the set screw had rattled out on these. And this this truck is so crazy because it's a shafty, right? But this is my original truck, and I was fortunate enough to buy this back after I sold it for way too cheap, by the way. But I actually was able to buy it back maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now. Boy, time's flying. But it's crazy the mods that you could do to this thing. So Losi made these carbon fiber towers that you'd replace the metal ones with. Metal 4-link here, these metal lockouts in the back, and then in the front you had metal hubs, metal spindles, and they're a different degree, so they made it turn a little bit sharper and kind of lay over more when you turned. The actual like Losi threaded shocks worked brilliantly on this truck, and then one of the hacks that you could do was the original truck. If you guys can see the drive shaft here, how it's straight down the middle, right? Well, that's not how the stock version went. They were actually bent kind of off to the side, and you had to grind away the chassis here on this side, and then on this side you had to grind it all out, and you could flip the chassis. When you flip the chassis, this straightened this drive shafts out front and back. The motor kind of hung off to the side a little bit, and then you'd have to mount the speed controller basically on its side to make everything fit. and this is my original truck. It comes with a dig. This is a Spectrum dig servo. And then these tires are Boss Claws. These are one of the greatest 2.2 crawling tires of all time, and they're actually so good they're banned from like Sorca competition for 2.2 crawlers. So I think the Supers still use a tire like this, but the actual like regular 2.2 size. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but I had to cut each one of these offsetting lugs out by hand with scissors on all 4 tires. So that was not fun. The crazy thing is the LiPo battery is still balanced. I've actually charged it and ran it a few times since getting it back. And then everything else is original. So all I got to do is put my receiver on here and plug everything in, and everything works fine again. So it's pretty awesome, actually. All right, we got to find that thread lock because I want to put this in here and I don't want to mess it up. I had it.
I have some.
Oh, it's right here. Here it is. Okay, good.
Oh, you're just about to blame that on me.
I was about to blame it on you. You're right. Because that's what dads do. They blame everything on their kid. Eric Jarman says, this is my first time hearing about SCB. How is it different from buggy or short course truck? So, it's just a, ooh, is that a 1.5 or 05? So, you just take a short course truck and then put a really skinny looking body on it with like an actual cab, and it's really big, and it had a kind of a pod coming out the back, almost like a sprint car. So instead of having a short course body on it where you jump and you get air underneath of it, these buggies, it was real tight to the chassis. And some of them had cages. I think Team Associated's, I think the Losi one actually had a cage too. They were kind of heavy, actually. But man, they handled so good. It was so much better than a... Maybe I'm like romanticizing it, but I always thought they handled way better than a stock one. Than a short course truck. So I'm saying I kind of wish those almost took over instead of short course. But I think maybe the draw of short course too is that you can put this awesome paint scheme on it, you know. Nick Sneathen's back on here, hanging out with us. So I just looked and I'm actually missing 2 of the set screws on this side. I'm going to check the other side too because I don't want to lose these pieces just because they're not going to be around forever. The Nightcrawler, the Losi Nightcrawler 1.0 and 2.0 actually use pretty much the same axle as the original Losi Comp Crawler. So Horizon still has parts for that truck, so that's how I was able to get these steering kingpins. And then I bent my own links. Actually, I remember doing it down here. I used pliers and like just some leverage, and I ended up bending them myself. Kind of a hacky way to do it, but that's kind of what I am. Kind of a hack, so. And then these classic Vanquish wheels have these bullet weights that you can put on the inside of them to give your truck even more weight. So these, you can see the holes here. So you can actually undo the rings and you can slide in these bullet weights. And they call them bullet weights because they look a lot like bullets. Still have these things. Pretty sure these wheels are worth a lot of money actually, so not gonna not going to scratch these up too much. Nope, set screws are in on this side, so that's weird. They must have just like rattled out. Look at that thing. This truck works so good that it's kind of a shame we can't really do much comping with these anymore, because it doesn't have a rail chassis. It's doesn't fit into class 3 because it's got the twin plate design. I asked if I could use it in the super class, and they said yes. But the supers have way more clearance. It's kind of the same reason why crawling in the early, I guess late 2010, so like 2008, 9, 10, I think crawling kind of got hurt because this truck, which is awesome, had to compete with MOA's motor on axles in the same, in the same stuff. So you had these motor on axles with all this clearance. They could do these crazy breakovers, whereas this, it would hit the skid plate all the time, and kind of took the fun out of it. So, but this thing's still really good crawler. So, all right, I'm gonna put the body back on that. That's something I've been wanting to do for a while, so glad we were able to do it tonight. Put this back in its home. Another project I got to finish is my Tamiya Clodbuster / J Concepts regulator chassis. This is one of those things that we had talked about on After Hours for forever, and I finally got it pretty much built. Used Traxxas extra long big bore shocks, and it's got the regulator chassis in it. It's got that big piece of brass underneath here, and then I got the behind the axle front steering kit from J Concepts on this thing. And all I really got to do now is get the speed controller in there, put a receiver in it, find a battery that I want to fit, and then get the body done. So the body is a Subaru Brat, and I think it's going to fit perfect. I just got to get it painted. So Eric, good question. So the speed controller that came with the truck, as long as I use the brushed motors that came with it, the speed controller that it has is actually set up to run both motors. So no, but I was thinking about getting two Hobbywing 1080 speed controllers and running them together.
It's like a Y splitter?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to probably mix it.
A Y splitter will probably work. Like into the same channel. They'd be getting the same stuff.
Yeah. But that's how those guys could do those motor on axles, is they would have a speed controller per motor. So I was just going to use this. Because, I mean, I'm just going to use I think even if I did go brush to different brush motors, I think I could still use this speed controller. But I think if I went brushless, I would have to do something different. But anyways, the body's from a Tamiya Subaru Brat. and I wanted to call it Froboy because Tony Leatherman made me these awesome stickers a while back, and I still haven't used them yet. But I wanted to get a wig, and I wanted to like glue it to the top, so it would have my Froboy sticker on the front and the side, and then a fro like right here, and I'd call it Froboy.
You should go to some.
But I haven't been able to decide a color.
Black and white would look cool with the black hair.
Yeah, it would. I wanted to find like a peach color, like a white skin tone color, and then put the Froboy stickers on it with like a brown fro or dark black, like a black fro, to contrast the truck. I don't know. I thought that would be really funny. But like maybe a black with like a light brown would look all right. I don't know. One of these days I'm gonna get it done, and it's gonna be pretty awesome. So one day. But at least I got the truck itself built. I want to go to one of those Trigger King events sometime with a Losi LMT, and then like this in the vintage class. I think that'd be pretty sick. I don't know. There's just something about a Clodbuster and the giant tires on it. Although I do have to get some J Concepts tires to fit on here. Then it'll be complete. And speaking of which, I gotta build that that Subaru Brat because that kit also comes with a hard body version of the Brat. And I actually thought about using this on a crawler.
That looks sick in my drift car.
Nah,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
I don't know. These are all things on kind of like the kind of the back burner stuff that I thought about doing, but just haven't gotten around to it yet.
Alright, I'm gonna run this.
I'm gonna put this back down here. And then the only other thing that I don't have here, the only thing that I don't have here that I've picked up over the last 6 months or so is the Vanquish VS410 Phoenix. It's actually at work. I've been using it. That's my main crawler now for a while. And once you get over the fact that its skid is still sitting kind of low compared to all the other guys, it's actually really fun, and it works really well. I love that 30% overdrive that it comes with. So this is Emerson's, and we had it running the other night. It runs pretty good. Just got to wash that. Just gonna wash that spur gear. So that would stink. Lance says, Clodbusters were always a bucket list as a kid. I would read all the magazines with them and dream of having one. You know, they still make them. It's called the Super Clodbuster, but it's all it is a Clodbuster. It's like literally the same truck, except that it's blue. I think that's what mine is, actually. Yeah, mine was a Super Clodbuster kit. I actually gave Will a Clodbuster that I got in this big lot that I ended up with, and I think he's got a red one. I'm pretty sure. I'm fairly positive that it wasn't blue. I'm pretty sure it was red. I know he hasn't built it yet either. Maybe it was blue. Either way, they came out with a black edition a while back. And
I'm gonna steal a body clip for a second.
I don't know. What are you doing?
I stole a body clip from the car.
Oh,
Just for a second.
okay.
Because you can only fit so small of a body clip.
Right. What are you gonna do? You gonna turn it on?
Yeah, I'm gonna drive it.
Don't break it.
I want to get one of those giant Electron Pro batteries. The ones that they're using for the Tetons.
Oh, sure. Yep. Yeah, for the battery. Yeah, that's. Well, I mean, it's the same size. I mean, it's physically, literally the same size as it's always been.
Uh-oh.
Servo saver's loose. I think you need to put a zip tie or something around it.
Does this
Maybe.
feel tight?
No, it's just they're not very strong. You might have to use. Is this the Losi one or is this the one that it came with?
The one that it came with.
See, I remember that being a problem with aftermarket servos. Was it the same horn size?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's going to hang it up, actually, because there's not enough room underneath of this for it to fit through. You're going to have to figure out a solution. Maybe glue it? Might have to glue it.
No, because they don't make the... I thought I had the stock servo sitting over here.
I don't know. I thought it was in all your stuff. Jumping Picks, thank you. We actually had a lot of fun doing the base camp video. It's always weird because you don't want to be like everybody else. So I was trying to figure out like, what haven't I seen yet? And since I didn't actually have to pay for that, I was like, well, let's get it really muddy. So we went to a drain pond by one of our housing developments, and it actually smelled really bad. so
Do it for the video.
we did it for the video, and then I was like, I gotta spray this thing off, man. This thing stinks. It smelled really bad. So appreciate it. Eric Jarman, I run the Electron Pro 2S in my Andromeda. Wouldn't mind finding a battery with a higher discharge rate, though. I'll have to see. Because the Electron Pros replaced the Venom 2000s, but I remember those having a pretty low C rate, so I'll have to see what I can find. I don't think ProTech has a battery that size that would be a higher C rate battery, so we'll try to find something. Lance, kind of been fun tonight. Kind of ran out of stuff to do. I mean, I haven't ran out of stuff to do, but I've ran out of the ambition to do the rest of the stuff, so I got 2 things accomplished tonight that I wanted to get done. That's always better than none. I think next week I might be here building my my 74.2. Maybe.
Some crap.
So if we get them in time, which I think we will.
I hate how these are Phillips.
I had it over here. Do you have it? Yeah, you got it. Okay. I think that's good for tonight. It's almost 10 o'clock. I'm gonna go watch the news. I'm gonna send him to bed because he's got to go to French class tomorrow morning at 7:30.
Bruh.
And we'll see what we can come up with next week.
Only because I need it to graduate.
Well, yeah, but only because you should learn it too. Is your French, is it only going to be for the quarter?
Mm-mm.
Or are you taking that the whole year? Why French?
I don't know.
Why not Spanish? Or do they speak Chinese? We're probably going to be speaking that soon anyways. Really? French. I didn't even know they still taught French. How do you say I surrender?
You say I invade.
Alright, guys. I think that's it for me. I'm going to go find something to snack on and get ready to watch the news and then go to bed. Got to work tomorrow at noon. Close the store. And get ready for this weekend. Actually, we're in the store all weekend long because of the TCS race. The Tamiya Championship Series. So, should be fun. Should be fun. I am out. Make sure you guys will be back on for the HobbyPlex Show podcast, sponsored by Pivot Lending, on Monday, 6:30. If you want to catch the edited version on all of your podcast apps, it should be out Friday, usually by I think 10 a.m. or so. And lots of stuff coming up. So looking forward to it. I will catch you guys later. Bye.